Hi guys, welcome back to the vlog. Time check. It is 6:50 in the morning. Very tired. Got back from China at, what was it, 6 a.m. I think on Friday morning. Had to go straight to work, get some stuff done in the studio. Spent all day working and then had most of the weekend off. Did some work yesterday. Today is Monday, by the way. But yeah, jet lag has done that thing where it just starts catching up on you again. You think you've got over it, and then it happens again. I'm whispering slightly because people are asleep in the house. But yeah, Monday morning, and a lot to do today. And then I'm off again tomorrow. I will vlog all of this week. The reason I'm filming today is because things might look a little bit different, possibly. The reason for that is, well, I'll explain why later, but you can try and guess now what's going on. Something's different, and I wanted to use this video as a test. But yeah, I'll reveal what it is later. But yeah, it's a case of writing. This morning I've gone over today's video, which Niall did a brilliant edit on. It's a very different video. By the time that you see this, it will have gone live. It's the Pixel 9 Pro XL video, which, well, if you haven't seen it yet, go and check it out. It was a jet lagged off the cuff video, which I'm actually really happy with. It was 50-50 how it was going to go, and it's turned out fantastically. So I've just checked that through, all good. And now writing before going to the studio to do some filming, and then, well, we'll see what else happens. Okay, so it is a busy old day today, mainly because obviously we've got this travel this week. It's not just me going, it's me and Niall going, although we're going separately, which I'll explain at some point this week, well, in the forthcoming episodes of this vlog. Excuse me, but because of that, we're getting lots of stuff done before we go away. Alexa, turn on the studio.
Okay.
I've also got loads of phones on me. Trust me, this whole thing about reviewing phones and it must be great to try out all the latest devices. It is, don't get me wrong, it's fantastic, but I can't show you them all either. Well, one of them in particular. Oh God. It just gets very annoying carrying around loads of phones and trying not to drop them. And anyway, Monday morning, of course, I'm moaning. Time check. It is 8:42-ish, and yeah, I've got some writing done. I wrote today's blog post, which is a review of the Pixel 9 Pro XL. That's the video that's going live today, which is very different. I now need to shoot some A-roll, which shouldn't take long, hopefully. I don't think it will, and get that done. Shoot some B-roll of that phone, which is this one here. Then I think go to the gym. Definitely go to the gym. And then I've got like an afternoon of calls, basically, an afternoon of calling people and having interesting conversations. So yeah, a busy one, but the start of quite an exciting week, hopefully. Yeah, come with me, as I always say. Okay, so I've got everything set up. 2 cameras, iPad, which sits just below the main camera, obviously out of view. I have a bunch of bullet points. This is a sponsored video, so there's lots of stuff to just get right, really, in terms of the script, because the script has been agreed by the brand, and that doesn't mean they've influenced my opinion on anything. This is more of a, it's kind of more of a news-ish type video. I'm not reviewing anything. I'm not really featuring a specific product. It's more about a new technology by this brand, and as I say, complete full disclosure, it is being paid for. So I need to nail it, but also make it kind of interesting and come across as being natural. That's the tricky bit, but here we go. I won't film me doing this because why, but I'll pick up this after I finished. Okay, so a roll done, which went okay. Those kind of scripted videos can be very tricky to do because you have to keep them, kind of like I was saying a minute ago, interesting and engaging and as natural as possible. So what you end up doing is rewriting it as you go. So the video it's not verbatim. I didn't read everything as it was in front of me. I just kind of read the bullet point and then kind of did my own spin on it, if that makes sense. And these days, because Niall is doing the editing for these videos, I'm talking to him in the edit suite while I'm filming myself, which is a really weird thing to do. It's weird for him, it's weird for me, but I'm kind of talking to him in the future and saying, look, cut that bit, or you might need to put this in here, or whatever. I'm still getting used to it. I love it because it's given me back so much time, and the videos we're producing are amazing. It's proven that I don't need to do everything, which is amazing. But it still takes a lot of getting used to when you've spent over 4 years basically editing around 900 videos by yourself. So it's a big change, but it's definitely one that I'm glad we've made. Okay, A roll done. What else? Other admin stuff done. I've got one less phone on me now because one of them's going back, which is good. What else? Coffee had, that was important. Coffee is always incredibly important. Let me just put you over here. There we go. Now, basically, I need to go to the gym. I'm feeling a bit there today, a little bit. I think it's partly jet lag, partly just life. Nothing bad, just life is very busy. It's very, very hectic. And I'm not looking forward to going away from the family again this week. Basically, me and Niall go. Yeah, start again. Me and Niall go away. Niall and I go away tomorrow. We don't get back until Sunday evening. So tomorrow being Tuesday. So it's a long trip, an exciting trip, but a long one. It just means that having come back from China and having had 3 days ish, if that, with my family, I've got to go away again. It's all part of the job, obviously. I wouldn't swap it for the world, but as I've always said, this vlog is warts and all, really, and yeah, I am gonna moan about that occasionally because it's just a bit rubbish sometimes. Anyway, stop moaning, Mark, crack on. What will help now is the gym. I don't know about you, but the gym, and not just the gym, but working out in general, sorts everything out, sorts out the brain, keeps you fit, obviously, which is good, and always lifts me up a bit. So I need to go and do that now, and then it's back to the studio later for some stuff here. The other thing I'm waiting for is my car. So the car that you saw earlier isn't mine, it's a courtesy car, and I want mine back. It's been nearly 3 weeks now, and apparently it should be ready today, but I don't know how that's going to work with me going to get it. It's all going to be a bit tight, to be honest, so let's see what happens. Weather update, it is a little bit, it was warm yesterday actually, it was quite warm in the UK yesterday, which was nice, but it's starting to get a bit more autumnal now, which inevitably means moaning about the weather on these vlogs will only increase. Apologies. Gym done. That was alright. That wasn't too bad. I went for a run yesterday and it was absolutely horrible for some reason, but that felt alright. Okay, now time check. It is 1 o'clock in the afternoon and it's time to go and get some lunch because I'm starving. Whoa! Why does that always happen? Yeah, time to go and get some lunch because I'm absolutely starving, and then go back to the studio for a bit more work. And at that point, I'll explain what's different about this vlog, although some of you eagle-eyed viewers may have spotted it already, because most of you do. Most of you pick up on that sort of stuff. Back in the studio, lunch consumed, so I've done the gym, I've had something to eat. I feel better now I've done those two things. It always happens. The video has just gone live. I'm stopping myself from checking the stats because I don't do that anymore. I do still do it occasionally, particularly with videos like this that are so different in terms of the way it's been made. I'm fascinated to see how it performs early doors. So there you go. That's me going against my new mantra. Anyway, waffling now. So time check. It is, what is it? 2:15, and I'm writing now. So I've got a bit of time. I've got about an hour and 15 minutes before I do a call. So I thought, let's get some writing done for tomorrow's blog post. And I thought I'd very quickly show you what I do with this. So let's swivel you around again. On the right hand side we have Notion. This is Notion, which is what we use to plan all of our content and everything basically. Within Notion there's a whole blog planning part of it that we've built, and for each blog post we have a card, and within that card we have all the details about the blog post. So for my own sanity, I kind of have this outline. So I list out all of the headings. These are the headings here, which are known in the trade as H2 headings, and then beneath the heading just a few bullet points about basically what I want to talk about in that part of the blog. And then when I come to write it, I go into Google Docs, which is what we're using now for all the blog post drafts, and basically fill out the title, all of those subheadings, and then start writing from these bullet points. Still getting used to something today, as you can probably tell. That's it. I mean, a terrible explanation, but that's basically what I do. And it works really well. So that's a little tip for you. I do like to put I love to put little tips into these vlogs sometimes. Yeah, if you're writing a lot, plan out, basically put a structure together, put an outline, a skeletal outline of the blog post from which you can work while you're writing, rather than just hitting a blank page. That's what I used to do. Thinking back, it was crazy, but every time I wrote a new blog post, either for this business or in my previous life, I just start with a blank page. I might have the headings, but I didn't have the bullet points like that, and it's just stupid. So yeah, that's what I'm doing now, and I'll crack on, and then I'll talk about the thing that's changed. Okay, writing nearly done. I've got about another paragraph or two to finish off. I can't do it now because my phone's ringing. Brilliant. Who's ringing me? Suspected telemarketer. Is it? I might need to get this. No, I won't. Yeah, I can't write the rest of that thing because I've got about 30 seconds before I need to jump on this call, and it's a very important call because it's with someone who is, I've been introduced to them by someone else, and they're great. They're a really good source of advice and information, and the idea with this is that we try and share advice and information. One day I'll talk about this person, and I'll kind of explain what it's all about, but he's a very interesting guy, very experienced, and we've already helped each other quite a bit. So anyway, I've got to jump on that call now. Call done, and let's talk about what's different on this vlog. Like I mentioned earlier, a lot of you will have noticed this already. It looks different. It does look very different, hopefully. I hope it looks different, because I'm using a different camera. So I guess to put some context around this, where is it? For the last however long I've been vlogging on this channel, I've been using this. Let me get a seat. This will be much easier with a seat. There we go. Let's bring this around. So yeah, for the last however many months it is that we've been doing this, the camera of choice has been the Osmo Action 4, which is a action cam, as the name suggests. And the reason I picked this as my vlogging camera was because it was just so easy. You just look at it, it's tiny, tiny little thing. So carrying this around was just no problem. It's waterproof, the battery's good, the image quality is pretty good as well. And it's very inconspicuous. So when you're vlogging, because vlogging is always weird, there's no two ways about this, vlogging is a weird thing to do, particularly in public. You never really get used to it, and you do feel a bit self-conscious. I think even the most seasoned vloggers would say the same thing. It's still a bit weird to be walking around like this in a, like a shopping centre or through an airport or whatever. It looks a bit weird, and very. I don't think I was thinking about this the other day. I don't think I've ever seen anyone vlog in person. Have you? I'd love to know if you. I've never spotted anyone walking around doing this. And I do a lot of travelling, so it always feels like you're doing something unusual. So the fact that this was so small and I could just kind of hide it in my hand and talk to it like that was great. If I haven't mentioned this already, the mic is fantastic on here as well. No, it doesn't deal with wind noise, obviously, but if you're in a relatively quiet and, well, not even quiet, if you're in an area where there's not too much wind going on, it's brilliant. It's so clear. Stabilization as well. You can get these lovely shots where you kind of sweep around and you do these kind of panning shots wherever you are to show the scenery. And when you're vlogging, when you're doing this kind of thing, it's very stable. Everything about this is great. There are some downsides though. One of them is the fact that it's got that kind of GoPro look. So the field of view, even though I set this to what is it, normal, I think it's called, so not the ultra wide because that looks a bit weird. It's set to a kind of normal field of view, which would be, is it 155 degrees or something on this? Maybe less, I'm not sure. It still looks a bit GoPro-like, a bit action camera-like, which gives the videos a certain charm, I guess, and a certain, I don't know, relatability possibly, and it's not too highly produced. It looks interesting in that respect, but there's been so many times where I've wanted to show you certain, clips of where I am or things close up, or like I was showing you earlier on the screen, showing you stuff on the monitor. And with this, you just can't quite convey what your eyes see. So this isn't a 24mm camera. You're not seeing roughly the representation of your eyes. So there's that. What was the other thing? The other thing was, there was something else. I've completely forgotten what it was. So it was the downsides with that. I can't. There was something else, but that was the main thing. That's what bothered me really. So it was a little bit limited in terms of what you could do with it from a filmmaking perspective. And the other thing, I guess, was that I just got a bit bored of it. And I'm a bit like this sometimes with gear. I tend to get a bit bored of things. And the other reason, actually the third reason, is that I kept seeing people with one of these. Now, I won't bother showing it because you can just Google it. If you just Google Osmo Pocket 3, you'll see what this camera is that I'm using at the moment. Although you may have one, to be honest, because it's seemingly everyone apart from me has one of these cameras. I've got one now, but before yesterday. To the point where they're completely out of stock in most places. Little story for you. Went to China, obviously. In fact, it's in the last vlog, I think. So if you haven't seen it, if you have seen it, apologies. But if you haven't seen it, basically, while I was in China, I thought, I know, I'll go to the DJI store and pick up one of these because it might be a bit cheaper. Got to the DJI store and worked out that based on the the exchange rate and all that sort of stuff, I would have saved about 200 quid, which was very tempting to the point where I just thought, let's go for it. Went over to the lady in the shop and said, I'll have one of those, please. And she said, no stock. I said, okay, is there anywhere else in Shenzhen we can get one? And she said, no stock anywhere. And she was right. There was no other DJI store either in the city or in the airport. There was one in the airport. That didn't have them either. The only place, unbelievably, that had these in stock was Argos in the UK. If you're from the UK, you'll know what Argos is. And if you're not, it's just a very old retail chain in the UK. But for Argos to be the kind of knight in shining armor with this was amazing. And I didn't save that 200 quid. Anyway, regardless, I've been aware of this camera for quite a while now, and every time you go to a press event or anything in this industry where other people are turning up, for, YouTubers and press people, everyone's got one of these, and it's just so convenient. So basically, it's a 1 inch sensor. I think I can't remember what the field of view is, what the equivalent focal range is. It's about, it must be about 20 mil or something, but it's just a bit of more of a traditional camera in terms of the image that it spits out. So if I just spin you around, still getting used to it. It's a better image compared to that Osmo Action 4. It's less action cam like. It just looks better, I think, and it's a gimbal, so it's got the camera sits on a gimbal. It looks very much like the camera that you get, or the camera module that you'll get on a DJI drone. It looks like a drone camera on a stick, basically. But yeah, so you can still get these very kind of nice stabilized footage like this. You can still do this, which is what I want. I want to keep that stabilization, but I can at any point swing it round and there we go. Also, as you may have noticed in this video, it does have face tracking, although first impressions are that it's a little bit hit and miss. So it's not picking up my face now. Why isn't it picking up my face? Let's try again. Turn it off and turn it back on. Start. Detecting. Face track enabled. So if I move around, it follows me as far as it can. Still going. Oh, okay, it goes all the way around. Nice. That could be annoying for you. I don't know. Let me know. It could, but it's quite useful from my perspective. The other thing you get with it is, and this is very important, very, 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 very useful, is a mic. So you get the DJI Mic 2, which is this one here, and they give you obviously a dead cat for the top of it. So if I find myself in very windy conditions, I can stick that on, stick the dead cat on, and happy days. Better audio basically than the Osmo Action. I've been using the built-in mic for this entire vlog, so I'd love to know what you think about it in terms of quality. I'm guessing it's probably the same as the Osmo Action 4, fingers crossed. It's not perfect. There are some problems. One of the problems is that it's nowhere near as robust as this. This you can chuck around everywhere, you can submerge it, it's great. This isn't waterproof, so if it starts raining, great. Basically, if it starts raining, I'll switch to this. This will still travel with me, so you'll occasionally see footage from this. So yeah, it's not waterproof. What else? There's some other stuff. The battery, I don't know how good it's going to be. It doesn't look too bad. There is a battery pack thing that you attach to it to kind of double the battery, which is nice. So I'll see how that goes. What else? I think you could break it quite easily, to be honest. So I have bought the DJI Care Refresh, which you basically buy. It's 50 quid, and then you get over 2 years you get 4 replacements. So if you damage it, if it gets water damaged, you send back this, and you pay I think 30 quid, and they send you back a brand new one. So you've saved yourself technically nearly 400 quid or something. So I did go for the DJI Care Refresh. What were the other problems? There was something else. Or was that it? Maybe that was it. But we'll see. We'll see how I get on with it. But I just thought I'd talk about that. I've been talking about this camera for a long time now. I think on that note, guys, I will bid you farewell. Time check, it is 10, no it's not 10, it's 20 to 5, so it's nearly time to go home, and I do have a trip to Berlin to prepare for. So tomorrow I head to Berlin for IFA. That means I need to get a couple of bits together, but as always I will take you on that trip, and it should be an interesting one for many reasons, but yeah, I'll show you as much of it as I can as possible. As always guys, if you've got this far, thank you very much. Give the video a like if you've enjoyed it. Tell your mates if you think someone might be interested in this sort of stuff. If you haven't subscribed yet, although if you've got this far you probably have, but if you haven't, hit that button, and I'll catch you in the next episode with this camera. See you then.